Hi, my name is Dave Dennison and I'm the man responsible for the Pride of Essex Awards, having been its chairman now for almost 10 years. Our presentation night is something that we are very proud of, as it celebrates so much good that's happened within our county. It's a night when we normally push the boat out to ensure that all of our special guests, and that is the nominees, their families and their friends, have a great time. This year is a first. Due to the extreme difficulties of the pandemic, our awards can only be presented online. All of our gifts and awards will, of course, still be sent on physically by carriers and very shortly. I must give my heartfelt thanks to all our sponsors who have continued to support us despite their own difficulties, in particular the Anglia Ruskin University. Without their great technical help, this virtual presentation would not have been possible. This year is also a first for a special category, HOPE, H-O-P-E. The acronym stands for Heroes of Pandemic Essex. As you can guess, we've received a great number of nominations for those in our community who have helped so much during these difficult times. In this category, we will not be awarding a winner, as in our eyes, they are all winners. We have instead produced a film of special thank yous, which will be screened later. All those mentioned will receive a letter from our Lord Lieutenant, together with a unique commemorative pin. So, if you're watching at home, relax and enjoy with us a celebration of some wonderful Essex people. To guide you through, I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Deputy Lieutenant Stuart Rawlings, and in the unavoidable absence of BBC Radio's Tony Fisher, we welcome local actress and singer Suzanne David. Thank you very, very much for tuning in.
Hello and welcome. Our job this evening is to present the top 5 nominees in each category.
Now you'll notice, of course, that Suzanne nor I are wearing a mask, but we are socially distanced. In each case, we will introduce the 4 highly commended nominees in no particular order. Finally, we announce the person selected by the judges to receive the category award.
Now, as we're unable to present the awards physically this year, they will be sent directly to you and they should arrive within a few days.
The first category is the Potter's Community Champion for 2020, sponsored by the resort at Hopton-on-Sea in Norfolk.
The Community Champion Award recognises those who make a difference to the community as a whole. The judges were asked to look for individuals or groups who put the needs of others before themselves, often raising much needed funds for charity.
First highly commended community champion is Father Lee Clark and his daughters Isabel and Emily. The Clark family from Southend have fundraised for many deserving causes. Dad runs marathons and the girls have undertaken many fundraising activities, from bucket collections and cake sales to sleeping out rough, particularly to raise money and awareness for the homeless. They even turned down a visit to Chessington World of Adventures, preferring to fundraise. Together, the family has raised more than £50,000 for deserving causes. Dad says that he couldn't be more proud of the girls, and that goes double with how the girls feel about their selfless father. Pride of Essex highly commend community champions, the Clark family.
The next to be highly commended is Jamie Bagg from Stifford Clays, Thurrock. It began a few years ago when Jamie ran the London Marathon. The money he raised was used to provide Christmas lunches for the elderly and lonely in his area. Since then, he has, with his own money, dressed his house as a Christmas spectacular. Each year the attendance grows and now residents contact him to ask when the lights are going to be switched on. Jamie continues to develop new ideas to increase the sum raised for local causes. He's had reindeers, Father Christmas on a sleigh, a Santa's grotto and even a local brass band. He extended the decorations into his neighbours' gardens and even installed snow machines. His young family of 4 dress up every year and sell festive treats alongside a special wishing well, all for local charities. The Pride of Essex highly commend community champion Jamie Bagg.
Next highly commended as a community champion is Pamela Rue from Blackmore. Pamela, with her band of volunteers, sells items at Christmas fairs, community markets, on her own lawn, or indeed anywhere she can. She has raised thousands of pounds for Kids Inspire, an Essex charity which supports children and young people recovering from traumatic experiences or dealing with mental health difficulties. Charity manager of Kids Inspire, Paula Ashfield, says, "Although advanced in years, Pamela turns up in all weathers. She's a great ambassador for our charity, always ready to spread the word to attract new supporters. Pamela is a great asset to us and the community of Essex." The Pride of Essex highly commend community champion Pamela Rue.
Next to be highly commended are community champions Joe and Darren Russell. For more than 10 years, this couple from Grays have been working and volunteering for the charity Clowns in the Sky, dedicated to the research and treatment of childhood brain tumours and to the welfare of affected children and their families. Joe and Darren have raised thousands of pounds from cycle marathons to personally doing sponsored firewalks. Their nominator, Charity Development Officer Donna Byrne, says, "They are an amazing couple who have raised lots of awareness for the charity as well as lots of money. They are totally supportive and will always offer to lend a hand. These two really deserve recognition as they have their own family, jobs and a busy life and yet give so much to us." The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Joe and Darren Russell.
Finally, we come to our community champion for 2020, Brentwood's Karen Lane. Her nominator, her daughter Alex, says, "My mum was diagnosed with stage 4 bowel cancer 10 years ago, which spread to her liver and is currently still in her lungs. Throughout the treatments of chemo and operations, she still managed to put everyone else first. She's been a speaker at many Race for Life events to encourage people experiencing the same journey to never ever give up. She has the Merry Meads Tea Room in Brentwood, where she runs events for charity and the community. Since being diagnosed, she has devoted her life to raising awareness and money for Cancer Research UK, and she has raised almost £200,000. Pride of Essex, Potter's community champion for 2020 is Karen Lane.
Now we come to the Team of Pride category, the TOP Award, sponsored by Watson Accounting. TOP is awarded to a team or group of people who have made a positive difference to the community, often raising significant funds for charitable causes.
The first Team of Pride to be highly commended is the Sanctus charity for the homeless, which operates a cafe in Chelmsford for those in need. The primary aim is to feed people with at least one hot meal a day. Now, demand is growing and has increased from 20 people a day visiting the cafe 8 years ago to now between 60 and 80 a day. Sanctus also offers mentoring and one-to-one support to help those with general day-to-day life issues such as drug addiction and alcohol dependency. Sanctus is mainly funded by voluntary donations. However, the aim is to develop into a sustainable operation. Main trustees Emma Hughes and Emma Goldie work tirelessly to help keep Sanctus going. Nominator and volunteer strategist Stephen Drury says, "Without them, the Chelmsford homeless would have had very little unconditional help over the last 8 years. I cannot recommend Sanctus and both Emma's highly enough for Pride of Essex recognition." The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Emma Hughes and Emma Goldie together with the Sanctus Homeless Charity.
Next to be highly commended is Kids Inspire. This charity operates from a base in Great Baddow and supports the most vulnerable young people with issues such as bullying, exclusion and school avoidance. experienced mentors are trained to support those with more complex and long-term difficulties that stem from family dysfunction, social isolation and loneliness, domestic violence and abuse. The aim is to give them the opportunity to engage in activities and experiences that broaden their horizons and develop their social and practical skills, as well as building self-esteem to help them to engage positively in education. Those at Kids Inspire quite literally provide a lifeline to children and their families. As one grateful parent wrote, "Thank you for all you do. Without Kids Inspire, I have no idea where we would be, but it wouldn't be in a good place." The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Team of Pride, Kids Inspire.
Next to be highly commended is the Brentwood Care Centre. Everyone at the centre truly understands the meaning of community spirit. For example, resident 94-year-old Anne did 26 crosswords in 26 days to raise money for local SNAP, that's special needs and parents. The crossword queen completed the challenge in no time at all, raising the impressive sum of £552. The centre also encourages and promotes a pen pal scheme with the education service Guided Learning to link residents with young people aged from 6 to 16, making new friendships and helping to improve the self-confidence of the youngsters. The home is proud of their recent work with Brentwood Food Bank, raising awareness and donating much needed food for those in need within the community. Each month, the management team and staff set about fulfilling a wish list of items that they are running low on. They worked hard to collect as many donations as possible. The final amount of supplies were boosted further by a generous donation from Care Home. Client Relations Manager Somet Turner wrote, "We believe that the whole of the Brentwood Care Centre family, our residents and our team, are deserving of recognition for their ongoing commitment to reach out, support and care for those in need." The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Team of Pride, Brentwood Care Centre.
Harwich and Dovercourt Rotary Club have been nominated for their help with charity Teen Talk. Since 2013, they have provided weekly cookery workshops for young people aged 12 to 25 years at Teen Talk Centre in Harwich. Many of the young people face a range of difficulties, such as anxiety, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, stress, loneliness, bullying, and relationship difficulties. All of these can have a significant impact on their ability to participate in activities. The workshops provided by the Rotary Club volunteers offer them an activity that is relaxed and adapted to individual needs. The sessions are an opportunity for young people to take the first steps in trying something new and meeting others of their own age. The volunteers share knowledge and experience to help build skills in the kitchen and an understanding of healthy eating, whilst building confidence and self-esteem. Rotary volunteers are welcoming, considerate and passionate about helping. They also help with maintenance and sharing skills through other activities such as woodwork and the recent Harwich Woodlife project. Nominator Emma Blabber of Teen Talk wrote, "The support the Rotary Club has shown Teen Talk over the years is greatly valued. We would be pleased to see them recognised for their great work in supporting the young in our community." The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Team of Pride, the Harwich and Dovercourt Rotary Club.
The community top team for 2020 is the Essex Freemasons Community Fund. The fund was set up late in 2019 with money from the charitable donations of Essex Freemasons to award grants to registered charities and organisations in Essex that are supporting communities. 6 grants of £10,000 each were made this year. Launched just before the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, the fund executive were also tasked with responding to the PPE needs of groups across Essex. Some of the initiatives and grants made are
£20,000 towards boosting antibody testing, with an additional £100,000 pledged to fight the virus in the east of England.
50 litres of hand sanitiser to Essex Search and Rescue, a team of 63 volunteers who helped to find missing and vulnerable people in Essex.
50 litres of clinical grade hand sanitiser donated to each of the 7 Essex hospices.
£10,000 grant to Essex Child Death Review team at Princess Alexandra Hospital in Harlow. Now, the team of 5 supports families and other organisations following child deaths. They have no budget for the literature, books and memory boxes that they provide to families to help in explaining to surviving siblings what has taken place. The grant is to fill the funding gap due to the COVID-19 outbreak.
Hand sanitiser and face shields to Essex and Herts Air Ambulance Service.
Face shields to all nurses in the community mental health teams in the Mid to South Essex area.
Face shields to district nurses covering the south of Essex.
All 506 registered care homes in Essex were offered face shields for all staff. Now, more than 320 homes requested support and over £10,000 of face shields have been supplied.
Personal bottles of hand sanitiser given to all ambulance crews across Essex as a thank you from the Freemasons. Freemasons volunteers delivered all these items personally.
The top team for 2020 is the Essex Freemasons Community Fund.
The next award category is the Unsung Hero of 2020 award, sponsored by St Lawrence Holiday Park.
The Unsung Hero Award recognises exceptional care in the community by people who make a real difference when putting the physical needs of others before themselves.
First highly commended St Lawrence Unsung Hero is Marie Coburn. Marie is a nurse at Broomfield Hospital. Just a couple of months ago, as she was dropping off her children at primary school, 49-year-old jogger Paul Wright collapsed in front of her. He had suffered a cardiac arrest. Marie commenced CPR and continued after the ambulance had arrived. Paul was airlifted to Broomfield Hospital, where he spent 6 days on a life support machine. Miraculously, Paul survived. The heart specialist confirmed that the quick actions and high quality of CPR performed by Marie had saved Paul's life. Paul's wife and nominator, Nadine, said, "Had it not been for Marie's quick action and selflessness, I would have been without my husband and our children without their father. Marie even offered to accompany Paul in the helicopter as she didn't want him to be left alone. She is a remarkable person and most certainly my unsung hero. I don't know how I could ever repay Marie, but this award would go some way to recognising her outstanding act of kindness and bravery at a time when most people would have panicked and struggled to know what to do." The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Unsung Hero Marie Coburn.
Next highly commended unsung hero is Jean Miley from Harlow. Jean leads a charity called Harlow Stroke Support Rehab Centre. They support 300 stroke survivors and their families. Each week, Jean runs exercise classes, speech and language classes, cognitive rehab classes and social groups. Currently, Jean is providing a phone support service to members, organising repeat prescriptions, food deliveries and getting errands run so that the vulnerable members can stay in. Every member has a regular check-in phone call. Each day she provides crosswords, quizzes and projects to keep members focused, to ensure that they have a clear purpose to maintain their mental health. The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Unsung Hero Jean Miley.
Next to be highly commended are Vicky Turner and Deirdre Taylor. They both work in a small Tesco's in Southend-on-Sea. They realised that they hadn't seen regular customer Val for 4 days. So they found out where she lived and knocked loudly several times but got no reply. Then they heard a groan from inside, and looking through the letterbox, they saw Val lying on the floor covered with blood. They called for help and managed to break open the door. It turned out that Val had been there for over 3 days following a fall. Doctors say if it wasn't for them checking to see if Val was okay, she would have been dead. Val has now been relocated to a sheltered home. St Lawrence Holiday Parks highly commend Unsung Heroes Vicky Turner and Deirdre Taylor.
Next highly commended unsung hero is Dean Whedon from Doddinghurst. Dean suffered severe depression since he lost his wife to cancer 3 years ago. He has a fine singing voice and despite his own struggles has been giving up his time every Thursday, singing to raise money for the NHS, Marie Curie, St Francis Hospice and Mind, as well as local food banks. He's raised over £6,500. He has recorded and sold CDs, organised food banks, raised the money, shopped and distributed the food himself, and organised auctions. 2 of his many nominators, Amanda Potter and Lynn Robinson, say he never stops. He has a heart of gold. He's still raising money today and organising food parcels for people struggling at Christmas. Dean has put all his efforts into bringing the community together during these troubled months and restored our faith in human nature. The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend unsung hero Dean Whedon.
Our unsung hero for 2020 is Lisa Street from Loughton. Judging by the large volume of nominations that we received for Lisa, she must be the most popular as well as the most caring worker at the Queen's Court residential care home in Buckhurst Hill. She's worked there for 4 years. During this time, her work, particularly with activities, has brought the care home alive. Even during her battle with breast cancer last year, the residents were her first thought, and she returned to work within 4 months of her mastectomy. Manager Mary Jo Seat wrote, "Families and friends of the residents adore Lisa and are reassured when their loved ones are with her. She is a constant support for them while they are in our home. You can often hear the residents asking for Lisa and commenting on how things aren't the same when she isn't there. She is one of the most selfless people I have met and continues to amaze me on a daily basis with her dedication and commitment to our staff, residents, their families and friends." The St Lawrence Holiday Park unsung hero for 2020 is Lisa Street.
Now for some special awards. The appropriately named Star Lifetime Achievement Awards, sponsored by Chelmsford Star Cooperative Society. Now their retail shops and Quadrant department stores give back 33p in every pound spent to local causes. They are, as their name suggests, stars. The individual Lifetime Achievement Award for 2020 goes to Lawrence Rawlinson of Shelford Village. Shelford Village Hall and the large playing fields are one of the gems of this small village near Braintree. The 6 acres of land have been immaculately tended by just one man for many sports and village activities. The fields can take up to 3 hours each to cut, sometimes needing 2 cuts a week. Lawrence has taken on this responsibility for 60 years and for no charge. His generosity has saved the village tens of thousands of pounds. Even when his wife needed care, Lawrence still found the time, and even with her sad passing 3 years ago, he still came every week. Andrew Hull, Vice Chairman of Shelford Parish Council, wrote, "In this, his 86th year, Lawrence has sadly had to give up due to a cataract operation and, under his own admission, just not having the strength to carry on. This COVID-19 situation threw a lot of plans out of the window regarding the village recognising Lawrence for all that he has done. A Pride of Essex award would mean a huge amount to him and also to the residents of the village. The Star Individual Lifetime Achievement Award for 2020 goes to Lawrence Rawlinson.
The Star Community Lifetime Achievement Award for 2020 goes to the Fairhavens At Home Service. For 28 years, they have provided end-of-life care and respite to adults from the ages of 19 with incurable or complex conditions. The specialist team of palliative care nurses and assistants provide the care and compassion someone at the end of their life needs, as well as supporting their family. In addition, they support discharges from hospital to home and offer planned respite 24 hours a day. Even during the coronavirus pandemic, the hospice and home team continues to work at full capacity, providing care for even more as they try to avoid unwanted hospital admissions for vulnerable patients. Since April this year, referrals to the service have increased by 30%, meaning that the charity has had to carry out many additional home visits. Healthcare assistants will travel on average 30 miles in one day to deliver care to patients across Essex, often changing shifts and normal locations, as well as having to get to grips with PPE. All care provided by Havens Hospices is completely free. Patient Alan said, "A plan was put in place so I could go back home, and now the Fairhavens Hospice at Home team visit me every day to help with personal care, making sure that I'm comfortable in bed because I can't move too well. Nothing is too much trouble. Even though they have to wear face masks and aprons, they look after me with a smile on their faces." The Star Community Lifetime Achievement Award for 2020 goes to the Fairhavens Hospice at Home Service.
In the spring, we announced the introduction of the new Hope Award. To tell you more about it and to introduce a short film of those nominated, here is the founder of the Pride of Essex Awards, Susie Cornell.
Hello, my name is Susie Cornell and I am the original founder of these awards. I got the idea 27 years ago when I was presenting these prizes at a London school. A little girl came up to me and asked me if I could give a prize to her mummy who had the same problem as me. Now, 27 years later, the Essex Achievement Awards have evolved into the Pride of Essex Awards. This year, the awards are even more poignant, covering the outstanding activities of all of those who've made contributions in Essex during the COVID-19 pandemic. The initials of the new and aptly named HOPE category, HOPE, stand for Heroes of the Pandemic Essex. There are no individual winners, as all of those nominated are winners. This film is to simply say thank you to all of those nominated for your amazing and unselfish efforts. And now to begin the thank yous, it is now my greatest pleasure to introduce the Lord Lieutenant of Essex, Mrs. Jennifer Tolhurst.
I am the Lord Lieutenant of Essex, and as Her Majesty the Queen's personal representative in the county, I was very pleased to be asked to say a few words as part of the Pride of Essex Awards and the Hope film. I want to stand alongside the people of Essex in these very challenging and uncertain times. The Essex Lieutenancy would like to profoundly thank the NHS staff for the extraordinary commitment and courage that they have demonstrated and continue to do so day in and day out. We want also to thank the frontline workers who have been and are continuing to keep the county functioning in very difficult circumstances. The police, the fire and rescue services, the army and the reservists also. The farmers and growers who have had a particular challenging year because of the weather. The many, many volunteers who have come forward, the food delivery drivers, the refuse collectors, and so many more who are playing their part across the county. Care homes and hospices continue to have a particularly challenging time, and we want to send them our very best wishes. Congratulations to everyone involved and to all those nominated. Thank you.
There are so many things that you can do. There is so much that you can say. Your faith will move that mountain if you just hope and pray. There's no time to wait for the world to change. There's so much you can achieve. For faith can move that mountain if you only believe. Faith can see an adversity, 'cause it takes so much away. You must believe what you can achieve. You'll gain strength and power day by day. Never have any time to be sad. You can get your challenge won. We're amazed you found so much more in all that you have done. There are so many things that you can do. There is so much that you can say. Your faith will move that mountain if you just hope and pray. There's no time to wait for the world to change. There's so much you can achieve. For faith can move that mountain if you only believe. If we all stand tall, there's no break in the wall. There's nothing in the way to stop us. And if we fall, we'll get up and be tall. And nothing you can say will stop us. We will show you all how we're gonna stand tall. We won't allow the cards to cheat us. We'll show you all when nobody's fool. We won't let a bad break beat us. So much that you can say. Your faith will move that mountain if you just hope and pray. There's no time to wait for the world to change. There's so much you can achieve. For faith can move that mountain if you only believe. There is so much pride we'll have inside for all that you have done. You've been denied an easy ride, yet you got your challenge won. There's no time to wait for the world to change. There's so much you can achieve. For faith can move that mountain if you only believe. If you only believe. If you only believe. Believe. Your faith will move that mountain if you just hope and pray. There's no time to wait for the world to change. There's so much you can achieve. For faith can move that mountain if you only believe. There is so much pride we'll have inside for all that you have done. You've been denied an easy ride, yet you got your challenge won. There's no time to wait for the world to change. There's so much you can achieve. For faith can move that mountain if you only believe.
Ho yay! Ho yay! Ho yay! Thanks to all the Essex heroes! Thank you! Thank you! And thank you!
A great big thank you to you true heroes. Thank you, thank you, thank you!
A big thank you from all of us at Director to all of you, our Essex heroes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We want to say a massive thank you from all at P&A Wood.
Thank you.
Hello everybody. Now listen very carefully. I shall say this only once. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, that was 3 times. You are all fabulous. Thank you. Mwah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also from him, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The Pride of Essex Awards. You rock. You rock.
Hi guys, it's Ollie Mers here. I wanted to give my thanks to our pandemic heroes in Essex. Whether you're working on the front line, fundraising, or have survived COVID, we see you and we appreciate you. Sending you all my love. Stay cheeky, keep smiling, and keep safe. Mwah. Lots of love.
A specially made commemorative pin and a letter from our Lord Lieutenant will be sent directly to all those heroes nominated in Hope.
We now come to the Cornell Centre Child of Courage Award. Now this recognises and rewards under 16 young people of Essex who have made achievements, often despite adversity. Judges looked for courage, determination and a positive outlook and disposition.
First, highly commended Child of Courage is 9-year-old Maya Arnold from Benfleet. Earlier this year, Maya worked hard to learn her lines and songs for the lead part in the musical Annie for her school, Woodham Lee Primary. Sadly, before the curtain went up, the show became a victim of the lockdown. Maya was very disappointed, but realised that there were people much worse off who were vulnerable and struggling to get shopping. She decided that although she couldn't sing on stage, she could instead sing to make a difference and help. That's how Singing for Tins was created. Maya rewrote the lyrics to the song Tomorrow and made a video of her revised version with pandemic hope lyrics, which she shared on a crowdfunding page. Soon she met her first target and started buying food. The tins were distributed by the Rayleigh Evangelical Church Food Bank. On many occasions, Maya delivered the tins to the food bank herself. Her grandmother said, "We are very proud of Maya for turning a negative into a positive and for thinking of others at a time when she herself was devastated. She was able to put her own feelings aside and help those most in need." The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Child of Courage, Maya Arnold.
Next, highly commended Child of Courage is 10-year-old Shay Wynn from Chelmsford. Shay was born with some severe disadvantages. Laryngeal cleft, esophageal dysmotility, gastroparesis, ligament laxity, low muscle tone, and hypermobility. From 18 months old, she's had to be tube fed. She's never been able to taste things we take for granted, like a glass of juice, or a bar of chocolate, or a pizza. She has to be hooked up to her machine for 15 hours a day. Even so, Shay stays incredibly positive and has a wonderful outlook on life. 2 years ago, Mum Lindsay set up the charity Shay Smile to help and support other children and families going through similar challenges. Shay has undertaken fundraising events and sponsorship for the charity and visits other poorly children in hospital, giving them one of the Shay Smile charity bears. Last year, Shay helped to write the charity's first children's book called Stars Can't Shine Without Darkness, to raise awareness of tube feeding. She has so many ideas for the charity and is passionate about raising awareness. Mum Lindsay says, Shay is an inspiration to so many people and deserves to be recognised for the outstanding work she does and the people she helps. The Pride of Essex Awards highly commend Child of Courage, Shay Wynne.
Next, highly commended is 6-year-old Alexia Sinclair from Wheely. Alexia has had to fight for her life from the day she was born. Arriving at just 28 weeks, she was unable to breathe by herself and weighed just 2 pounds 15 ounces. She was born with quadriplegic cerebral palsy and epilepsy. Her mother was told Alexia would never walk, talk, or be able to feed herself. In 2016, she underwent 10 hours of surgery to reconstruct her hips. By 2018, the family had managed to fundraise £80,000 to take her for life-changing surgery in America. She now attends a local school, she can talk, and is able to feed herself. She's had many operations to ease her cerebral palsy and has physio most days. These days, she's able to go riding and swimming to help strengthen her muscles. She has the most beautiful smile, and the children in her school all love her. She can now use a walker and can ride an adapted bike. She has more operations planned in the future, but she takes them all in her stride. She's a very happy child despite it all, and has become a major inspiration to many. We highly commend Child of Courage, Alexia Sinclair.
Our next highly commended child is 8-year-old Millie Pinches. Millie has multiple health conditions: heart, hearing, eyesight, arthritis. So far she's needed 5 surgeries and will need more. She's very behind at school, but despite it all, she gets up and just gets on with it. Great Auntie Claire says, every day Millie suffers pain, but continues to make us smile and enjoys her life. Nothing phases her. She gets up, goes to school, wears braces on her legs, struggles with her walking, but always tries so hard. Millie really does put us adults to shame. With all the problems that are thrown at her, Millie has every reason to quit, but she doesn't. She deserves so much to be nominated as a Child of Courage. We highly commend Child of Courage, Millie Pinches.
The Cornell Centre Child of Courage for 2020 is 7-year-old Joshua Newman from Writtle. Joshua was born prematurely at 28 weeks with a congenital heart condition. He spent 6 months in hospital where he had 3 heart surgeries and bowel surgery for a life-threatening condition. He had several cardiac arrests and numerous complications. Doctors didn't expect him to survive, and if he did, they expected him to be oxygen dependent, tube fed, and have neurological damage. Now, the doctors call him their walking miracle. He still suffers with chronic lung disease and has an ongoing heart condition which limits what he can do. But Joshua possesses a steely determination to be the same as his peers and tries to live his life to the full. He decided he'd like to learn karate, like some of his friends, and has developed into a regular young karate student in Chelmsford. Over the years, he's helped to raise thousands of pounds for the Royal Brompton Hospital by telling his story, and he's been the poster boy for a number of their fundraising campaigns. As part of their 70th anniversary celebrations, he won a competition to say thank you to the NHS for saving his life. He gave a speech at Chelmsford Cathedral, thanking all those who save lives every day. NHS Health Watch saw this and reunited Joshua with his hero, his life-saving doctor, Dr. Babu. As a result, a short film of Joshua's experience was made this year and has gone on to be the People's Choice in the National Children's Film Awards. Inspiration indeed. The Cornell Centre Child of Courage for 2020 is the Inspirational Joshua Newman.
We now come to the award for Inspirational Youth, sponsored by P&A Wood. This is awarded to young adults who inspire and achieve, often despite adversity, and those who make a positive difference to other people's lives by putting others' needs before their own.
The first to be highly commended is 13-year-old Maya Hahn of Frinton-on-Sea. Maya has been battling leukemia since October 2018. She's had to endure grueling chemotherapy, endless rounds of drugs and various procedures just to get her where she is today. During her journey, she's been an active fundraiser, including taking part in Relay for Life in Clacton. Along with supporting their various other events, she even hosted an afternoon tea at her house whilst battling her illness. Her friend and nominator, Kelly Mitten, wrote, "She is so motivational to others and a pillar of strength. In all the time she's been poorly, she never once let her illness get in her way. She's an inspiration." Highly commended, inspirational youth, Maya Hahn.
Next to be highly commended is 15-year-old Mikey Perkins from Colchester. Mikey was diagnosed with bone cancer in October 2017. He had 14 rounds of high-dose chemotherapy and underwent limb salvage surgery. He finished treatment in July 2018. Happily, he remains cancer-free. He has since written a book, Monster in Mikey, to raise awareness of childhood cancer and to help other young people who have been diagnosed and are battling against it. Mikey felt if he had been given a book at the beginning of his cancer journey, things would have been a lot clearer to him. He wanted others to have the opportunity to read his book during what can be a very difficult and upsetting time. Highly commended, inspirational youth, Mikey Perkins.
Next, highly commended, inspirational youth is Rachel Ojo from Basildon. At just 18 years of age, Rachel has become a valuable and inspiring member of the community. She's represented Essex and volunteered with dedication from a young age, having been a volunteer on the Basildon Borough Youth Council for over 6 years. She received a Diana Award for being an anti-bullying champion and helped the Youth Council receive the High Sheriff Award for helping to reduce violence within Basildon. She often appears on the BBC Essex #Essex programme, expressing the views of young people. Rachel has also represented Essex at national level as a member of the UK Youth Parliament for Essex and delivered an inspiring speech in the House of Commons. Last year, she became the chair of the UK Youth Select Committee for Knife Crime. She has chaired sessions in Parliament and represented the young people of Essex at 10 Downing Street, where she met cabinet ministers to discuss knife crime. Despite her commitments, she still finds time to raise money for charity, to be a member of the Air Cadets, to help as a Wickford Library volunteer, and to be an active member of the Spring of Hope choir, singing in care homes every other Sunday. Rachel is not only an inspiration to young people in Essex, but nationwide. Highly commended P&A Wood Inspirational Youth is Rachel Ojo.
Next, highly commended Inspirational Youth is 14-year-old Amber Hood from Dagenham. During lockdown, Amber raised nearly £1,500. She bought loose sweets and packed them in gift boxes and gave them as a thank you to, amongst others, the intensive care unit staff at Queen's and King George's hospitals, to Dagenham ambulance staff, St Francis Hospice, bus staff and care homes. She raised money for the Heart Foundation, for a dance school, and attended events with giveaway charity mascots. She ran a free raffle for children to win gifts, to put a smile on their faces. She walked 23 miles for charity despite a muscle spasm problem. This year, Amber has raised over £4,000 for Cancer Christie charity. Her mother, Nicola, says, Amber is always pushing herself to help others. She is a role model for always working hard. A very inspirational, hard-working girl, highly commended, P&A Wood Inspirational Youth, Amber Hood.
The Pride of Essex Inspirational Youth for 2020 is Danny Mardell from Epping. As a young boy, Danny was intrigued to watch his father boxing to raise awareness for people like him with Down syndrome. Danny's parents founded a charity called Danny's Challenge to help others with Down syndrome. After the sudden passing of his father, Danny wanted to keep his father's legacy alive, so with his mother Carol's help, they restarted Danny's Challenge and Danny himself took up boxing. Danny Jr. and Carol went to the Peacock Gym to have a meeting with the owners Mark and Jimmy, and there he started his boxing. The first charity exhibition fight against boxing promoter Jack Dom Shepherd was a great success. Danny has trained hard from the age of 14 to carry on raising money for various charities. Danny is now 25 and he's raised almost £100,000 for all types of young people with difficult challenges, special needs and also for cancer charities. So far, he's taken part in a total of 8 of these charity exhibition fights. Danny loves his training and being in the gym, where he is a well-known and loved character. He has a massive presence that shines wherever he goes, with a cheeky smile on his face that puts a smile on everyone else's faces around him, unless you're in the ring with him. As well as boxing, Danny loves his football, athletics and swimming. He recently completed a 50-length swimming challenge at the London Aquatic Centre in Stratford. Danny is a true credit to his family and friends and is, of course, an inspiration. The Pride of Essex P&A Wood Inspirational Youth for 2020 is Danny Mardell.
Finally, we come to the Director Ultimate Award for adults who have given their time and efforts unselfishly to improve the community and help others less fortunate, and setting an example to the Essex community with a combination of courage, determination and a positive outlook and disposition. First to be highly commended in the ultimate category is Emdad Ramen from Dagenham. Emdad is the founder of Book Bike, a volunteer bike service delivering free books to charities, schools, residential homes and hospitals in Essex and East London. He is a crisis suicide prevention volunteer and has run weekly soup kitchens in Essex and East London for homeless people for more than a decade. MDAD ran his 13th British 10K in a row in 2019 to support homeless people, many of whom suffer with mental health problems. He has also completed the London Marathon 4 times for charities. He was awarded an MBE in 2012, and he carried the Queen's baton at the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. And this evening, he has also been highly commended in the Pride of Essex Ultimate category. Highly commended in the Ultimate category is Emdad Rahman.
Next, to be highly commended in the Director Ultimate category is Patricia Prebble from Rettendon. Her nominator, Reese Ranson, writes, Pat, or Mrs. Prebble as she is better known, is 1 in a million. She's run the village preschool for 37 years without taking a wage, and now has the children of her past students attending. I now work for her after attending the preschool 30 plus years ago. Pat is part of every committee in the village and also a contributor to Basildon Hospital's committee panel. Pat's free time away from preschool is taken up with helping those less fortunate, ensuring that children who are leaving for school have uniforms, sometimes buying them herself. She'll supply lunch to those who are having money problems, ensuring no child goes without food or clothes, and occasionally gives them money for the weekly shop and heating. Mrs. Prebble can sort everything and anything, all when dealing with her own grief when she lost her best friend and soulmate, her husband Ray, and being in so much pain herself due to a fracture in her spine. Pat has raised thousands of pounds for many charities. She puts others before herself, always, and really is a truly special person that I'm lucky to call not only my boss, but I am proud to call a friend. This special lady, Pat Prebble, has now been highly commended in the Ultimate category in the Pride of Essex Awards.
Next, to be highly commended in the Director Ultimate category is Jeanette Carman. Jeanette from Chelmsford is an enthusiastic volunteer for the Samaritans, most of her time on night shifts. Because of the COVID-19 virus, she now has to shield, despite feeling fit and healthy, but says she's concerned about letting people down. However, Jeanette is 86 and has volunteered for the Samaritans for 48 years. A wonderful lady, highly commended by the Pride of Essex Awards Ultimate category, Jeanette Carman.
Next to be highly commended is Dr. Kamar Abbas. Dr. Abbas has dedicated more than 20 years of his working life to patient end-of-life care. This year, Dr. Abbas is celebrating his 20th anniversary of working with St Clare's Hospice. During this time, he's progressed from doctor on the inpatient unit to the hospice's medical director, but at all times his passion for patient care has remained his core focus. He is also a consultant at the Princess Alexandra Hospital. Additionally, Dr. Abbas advises and trains GPs, district nurses and other hospital staff, ensuring healthcare professionals across Essex can further their knowledge of palliative care. On top of this, he has also helped the hospice to achieve accreditation as a University of Cambridge teaching hospice and created links with Anglia Ruskin University. Last year, Kamar raised more than £4,000 for the hospice by trekking 95 kilometres in Cambodia. His nominator is Communications Manager at St Clare's Hospice, Rebecca Cousins, and she writes, Kamar is kind, compassionate and humble. Quite simply a remarkable man. Given the backdrop of the pandemic, this really does make it quite an important year to honour one of Essex's truly great people. Kmart has worked tirelessly to ensure that our patients and staff have been kept as safe as possible as the pandemic hit, and once again he's at the forefront of the hospice's plans to ensure that the risk of infection doesn't spread in the hospice. Recognition of his passion and dedication would be very fitting this year. Highly commended for the Pride of Essex Ultimate Award, Dr. Kmart Abbas.
The Director Ultimate Pride of Essex Award 2020 goes to Meg Knight from Wickford. Meg Knight is the definition of inspiration. After losing her frontline policing career following a car accident on duty that caused her permanent disability, she now dedicates her time to helping her community in other ways. Meg was left with physical and mental disabilities and now has aid to help her maintain some independence. Committed to continuing her work in the community, she volunteered with Girl Guiding in Wickford, helping to run 5th Wickford Brownies and occasionally 1st Wickford Guides. She's recently taken over running 1st Wickford Guides to save it from closure, as she did not want any young women to miss out on the valuable life skills Girl Guiding offers. Last year, she was selected to represent Girl Guiding UK at an International Guiding and Scouting Diversity, Disability and Inclusion Conference in Oslo, Norway. She now uses what she learned to develop better inclusive practices locally within Girl Guiding, following her appointment as the Essex South East County Diversity and Inclusion Advisor in 2019. She currently supports several young women with disabilities and encourages them to view their difference not as a weakness, but as a strength. Always one to challenge herself, Meg has returned to education and is in the final stages of undertaking a master's degree in international public policy at Queen Mary University, London. One of the many letters of support said, "Meg is amazing. Despite her disability, she throws herself into volunteering. She's a fantastic role model for the girls who, aged 10 to 14, can be lively and spirited. Meg knows exactly how to get the best out of them. She has shown immense strength through some very dark times. I cannot think of anyone else who deserves the award more." The Director Ultimate Pride of Essex Award 2020 goes to Meg Knight.
Thank you for watching the Pride of Essex Awards. But before we go, we must thank our supporters who make these awards possible. They'll be shown on screen, but meanwhile, a special thank you to our main sponsors.
That's Director UK,
St Lawrence Holiday Park,
Potters Resort,
Chelmsford Star Co-op,
Anglia Ruskin University,
P&A Wood,
Watson Accounting,
the Cornell Centre.
A special thanks too to BBC Essex for their support over the years. And finally, huge thanks to someone who has supported these awards for nearly 20 years and who now ensures they continue. Pride of Essex Awards Chairman, Mr. Dave Dennison.
There are so many things that you can do. There is so much that you can say. Your faith will move that mountain if you just hope and pray. There's no time to wait for the world to change. There's so much you can achieve. For faith can move that mountain if you only believe. Faith can see an adversity, 'cause it takes so much away. Must believe what you